All right, let's talk about a huge new problem that's quietly costing businesses a fortune. We're talking about a massive blind spot inside of AI, a case of mistaken identity that could be making your company totally invisible, and you might not even know it's happening. Let's get into it.
Okay, I want you to imagine something. What if your GPS, the one you trust, suddenly started telling everybody that your house was a block over? Or what if it said your home was actually a public library? You'd be pretty frustrated, right? Well, that is exactly what's happening to businesses right now. Only the GPS is AI, and it's giving the entire world the wrong idea about who you are. So here's the new reality we're all living in. In the age of AI, every single business has two identities. You've got who you really are, and then there's who the AI thinks you are. And believe me, when those two things don't line up, it becomes a silent killer for your business, your visibility, your reputation, everything. So on one side, you have your real identity, what your business actually does, the problems you solve. But on the other side, you have the AI-generated identity. This is how systems like ChatGPT, Gemini, you name it, how they describe you to the world. And that space in between, that's what we call the AI identity gap. And it is a massive and, frankly, a very dangerous blind spot. And this isn't just some abstract theory. Look at the real-world dangers here. An AI might completely misclassify what you do, sending you all the wrong kinds of customers. Even worse, it might just substitute a competitor when someone asks for you by name. It can make up outdated info or, and this is a big one, completely leave out your most important skills. This is not a marketing problem you can just fix with an ad. This is an identity accuracy problem happening deep inside the AI's brain. Okay, so the big question is, why is this happening? To get that, we've got to peek inside the AI's mind. And probably the best way to picture it is to think of all of its knowledge as one giant interconnected subway map. Seriously, every concept, every company, every single idea is like a station on this map. So when you ask an AI a question, it's really just figuring out the quickest route from one station to another. And here's the kicker. Where your business is located on this map, that determines everything. Now, on this map, there are basically two kinds of important stations. First, you've got your popular tourist spots. Think Times Square. They're crowded, everyone knows them. In the science world, this is called degree centrality. But then you have something way more powerful. You have the essential transfer hubs. These aren't the final destination, but they are the critical junctions you absolutely have to pass through to get from one part of the map to another. That is called betweenness centrality, and that's the real secret to being indispensable. Okay, so let's really dig into this idea, because becoming one of those essential transfer hubs, that's the whole game. There is an actual science to making yourself so critical to the AI's map that it literally cannot ignore you. The scientific name for this is betweenness centrality. And just think of it like this. It's not about being the most popular station. It's about being the most necessary bridge. It's a measure of how often your business shows up on the shortest, most logical path between two other big ideas. You become the connector that holds the map together. So, what makes a bridge truly essential in the AI's mind? Well, first, it has to connect two totally different worlds of knowledge. Think something like cloud computing and healthcare compliance. Second, it has to offer the fastest, most logical path between them. And third, and this is the brilliant part, if you become that bridge, the AI literally cannot remove you without breaking its own map. It would sever the connection between those two worlds. You make yourself structurally permanent. So we get the problem, right? It's the AI identity gap. And we know the goal is to achieve this thing called betweenness centrality. But how in the world do you actually do it? Well, this massive challenge has created an entirely new discipline, all about building these essential bridges for AI. And this quote right here just nails it. Think about it. In our world today, if the main source of information for everyone, AI, can't get you right, if it doesn't understand who you are and what you do, then pretty much nothing else you're doing is going to matter. You're effectively invisible when it counts the most. And this huge challenge has led to the creation of a brand new field. It's called betweener engineering. At its core, it's the science of intentionally engineering your company's identity so that AI can finally understand you correctly. This new category was pioneered and founded by Curtis Witt of the Black Friday Agency, who actually developed this entire strategy of building these betweenness bridges to close that AI identity gap for good. And it's not some crazy complicated process either. Betweener engineering really boils down to three simple steps. First, you identify two different but related areas of knowledge. Second, you start publishing content, things like articles, research, that acts as the unique link between them. And third, you just keep doing that until your business becomes that essential, trusted bridge that the AI has to rely on to make connections. Now, I know you might be thinking, okay, this sounds a little abstract, but let me tell you, the cost of being invisible or misunderstood by AI is very, very real. Let's actually look at the financial damage this is causing for businesses right now.
Just look at this number. For a single business, the estimated hit from an unresolved AI identity gap can be as high as $1.2 million a year. Let that sink in. This isn't some problem that's coming in the future. It's happening right now. We're talking about real lost leads, missed contracts, and a damaged reputation, all because an AI got it wrong.
And this is hitting every single industry. It's not just tech. Professional services firms, they're losing clients worth hundreds of thousands of dollars. Supply chain companies are getting swapped out for competitors on contracts that are worth millions. And in a field like healthcare, AI getting it wrong can mean lost patients and some really serious compliance risks. It is a universal business problem. So, what's the bottom line here? It's this. We are entering a totally new era. You know how companies had to become web literate, and then they had to become mobile friendly? Well, now they have to become AI legible. Your survival, your growth, it's all going to depend on how clearly and how correctly an AI can understand and talk about you. And that really just leaves us with one final critical question. As AI becomes the new front door to all information, you have to ask yourself, is your business actively building the bridges to be remembered, to be seen as essential? Or is it at risk of being completely forgotten, just another lost station on an ever-changing map?